And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Howdy folks, today we're taking a look at happy pigs. These pigs are indeed happy. I said this game has sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It really doesn't. It's really about you being a farmer and trying to get pigs. Or let's take it a step beyond that. This is an economic game. It's a light Euro style game in which you're trying to outfox everybody else and get the most money. Let me show you. The game actually comes with a ton of tiles, and it tells you to stack them all on this board here, but that's crazy because there are 40 of each of these pig tiles. So I'm just showing you the one tile of each. There's also these 3 upgrade tiles over here, and then these. You're going to start with one of those landscape tiles, and you get 45 coins to start the game with, and you can use those to buy 4 things. So you can see here I started with a large pig, a medium pig, and then I started with I have 2 of these things here. This here is nutritional supplements, and there is a vaccine. The money in this game is actually kind of cool. They have coins, but for the bigger money, they have bills. Now, what you're going to do for this game is you're going to make a deck here of tiles. There's 6 of each season, but you're only going to use 4 per game. So you shuffle them up, and each turn of the game you're going to draw one over, and this is going to show you what actions are available that round, as well as some special ability. For example, at the end of the turn, there's a field trip, and anyone who has one of each of the type of pigs, large, medium, small, and baby, will get $25. Now, this has 9 feeding actions, 10 birthing actions, like the graphic there, 7 buying actions, and 8 selling actions. Now, the way that this works is, there's 2 ways. In the base game, everyone's going to pick one of those 4 actions and flip them over at the same time. In the advanced game, one person puts one out, then the next player chooses theirs, etc. Now, if I'm the only person, for example, who put out a feeding action, I'm going to get to do 9 feeding actions. If, however, somebody else put out a feeding action, so let's say the orange player did also, then we'd have to split those, and whoever's closest to the person who went first is going to get 5, and the other person's going to get 4 feeding actions. So the more people who pick a specific action, the fewer times you're going to get to do it. Now, the different actions work thusly. Feeding action basically means a pig can go to a larger sized pig. This pig here is already as big as he can get, but this pig can jump up to this pig. If you happen to have a baby pig, he would go up to a young pig. If you have these nutritional supplements, you can skip a phase. So this one here, if he grew up, instead of going to the medium pig, he could go right to the very large pig like that. Now, having a baby, each of your medium or large pigs will simply have a baby if you have room. And remember, you are restricted by the room that you have on your tiles. But you can have a baby pig. That's what the birthing does. Although if you use these birthing charms, for each one of those you use, instead of coming out a baby pig, they will come out as a young pig instead. Buying actions allow you to go to the market and buy more pigs, or you can buy more fields, so you have more room to put your pigs. The first field costs 10, the second one costs 15, the third one costs 20, etc. You probably won't buy more than that. So you can buy those and make your area bigger so you have room for more pigs. You also have the opportunity to buy pigs and to buy the nutritional supplements, to buy the birthing charms, and to buy vaccines. Now, why do you need vaccines? You need to vaccinate your pigs at some point, which we'll flip them over, and you can see that it shows on the back of the pig there a little vaccine coming out of him. That pig's been vaccinated because at the end of each season, when I've gone through all the tiles for that season, any pig that's not vaccinated will die. So you need to make sure they're vaccinated before the end of each season. Once a pig's vaccinated, he's vaccinated for life, unless, of course, you sell him back and get rid of him. And so players are going to do this for 16 rounds of the game, 4 for each season. They're going to be picking actions, buying, selling, birthing, and growing. And once they're done with this, on the very final turn, you will sell all your pigs back to the bank for their value, and then everyone's going to count all their money, and whoever has the most money is the winner of the game. Happy Pigs is a very interesting game. Okay, I laughed and laughed when I first saw all those pigs with needles sticking at them. They're vaccines, but we call them drugs. We call the growth stuff, what do we call that? Steroids, and and then of course there's those pigs that are having more pigs. But there's that funny little theme in the background, but really it's just a straight up game. Buy pigs and do them. But the way that it's done is very interesting. There's a certain number of actions and you have those. Now I highly enjoy the advanced version where you play a tile and the person after you plays them, because in simultaneous selection, it's just a little bit more random. And you may like that. I think both ways work fine. Simultaneous selection, you flip them over, you see what everyone else has done. Oh, great, we three picked the same thing. We three are splitting them. But when you pick one at a time, the person who's going last is going to sit there and go, well, Bob and Tim both picked birthing. That's what I really want to do, but I don't know that I want to do it now because they're going to be splitting that. I don't want to split it three ways. If I buy now, I can buy a whole pile of things. And that's just a really cool concept. The whole game is based around this concept. The little events on the seasons, making sure you have all your pigs vaccinated before the season ends, those are neat. The buying pigs and growing them and trying to think of the most economical way to do that. Should you get some fat pigs and just start producing pigs, growing them? Or should you buy baby pigs and yourself and just grow them and skip the whole birthing process? Some really interesting thoughts, and all those things. I like how the vaccines are necessary. The growth hormones and the birthing charms are not necessary, but for $1, they let you skip steps. And then there's also tiles that will award them to you. And I don't know, it was very entertaining. The game does not overstay its length. It does have a dramatic different feel with number of players. The game currently goes up to 6. 3 is the minimum, which is, I played a 3-player and it's fine, and 4-player. I have not played a 6. I played a 5 and I thought it was a little longish, maybe. I would have put 5 as the maximum myself. 6 just seemed like there was too few things you're doing. While when you're playing with 3, you're like, look at my pig farm. I am Lord of the Pigs, which can be a very exciting thing to do. There is a ton of stuff. This game is extremely heavy. I barely was able to put everything in here without stacking a lot of it neatly. There's 40 pig tiles of each. I think there's tons of coins and tiles. You're getting your money's worth when you get this one. So certainly has an interesting that Chinese humor, cartoonish style to it, but underneath that is a very solid, interesting economic game. Check it out. Happy Pigs. Dice Tower Judgment. Excellent.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Schließ die Tür!